Since the creation of electricity and inventions by some old guy hundreds of years ago, new things like the internet, cell phones, music, radios, like all these social things started to gain mass. The people really started to like it, and they eventually grew to become its slaves, in a way. Since they were the tech slaves, they kind of overdid it and went with the ordeals of this. They seeked no displeasure. So things like books and other things that would hurt people's feelings, they would throw it away to save people's feelings. It kind of makes them wimps, in a way. Anyway, eventually, people became bored of what they've done. Like, really, really bored. So, they turned towards something else. Technology. They just sat there and just stared. Not for a while, but it seemed almost like forever, at what would be just pixels on a screen, where nothing really happens, nothing really changes your life, other than anything that you just see and how it affects you mentally. Like, it's not real. Soon, people started to make things more simple again. They went towards the technology this time, things that had pushed them to do it. They basically broke it in half, shortened radio shows, cut it straight down the middle. And things like music and Shakespeare were also cut in half. Eventually, again, things like books and other things that had a strong influence no longer held any of that. They basically held no reference whatsoever. And they eventually lost their power, and they turned into the things they had destroyed, or they had been turned into, basically trash in a garbage can. And people started to, change. They started to move faster. Like, they ignored all the details and just zoomed right past everything. And it's because of this that, school and discipline were taken away. And since school and discipline were taken away, many chain effects disappeared. And then everything just started happening. People lost interest and basically became dumber. Even though they were staring at a screen all day, it hadn't helped them whatsoever. They could barely spell or do anything. It also led to learning basically being cut out. Since discipline was taken away, children would not learn at all. It'd be a strange thing like the children and the masses would soon become like they would have a lot of controversy basically and offense, and they tried to cut that out. And it's because of this it eventually led to the government and then the people like joining forces in order to create something terrible. This one thing terrible was a controlled life. And this controlled life led to an even worse thing. No mind, no free will, thought of a person, everything basically disappeared. They became mindless in a way. And it's because of this